This morning, recovery efforts have been called off for a hiker who fell 300 to 400 feet while climbing a Colorado 13er. The Grand County Sheriff's Office says the hiker fell on August 28th. Weather and dangerous terrain prevented teams from reaching them. A physician on board a helicopter on the search has determined that the hiker did not survive the fall. A second attempt to recover the hiker was made last week but was unsuccessful. Any further recovery efforts have been called off. The person's name has not been released.
Right now, police in Colorado Springs are looking for the suspects in a smash and grab robbery at a vape shop. It's the 32nd such crime in the city this year. It happened yesterday morning at the Galaxy Glass Smoke Shop. The suspects took about $300 worth of vapes. That shop has been hit once before, and the first time was back in March. That time, the thieves crashed their car into the building before stealing the merchandise. The owner says that he put up new cement poles, hoping to prevent the suspects from coming back.
That would be enough to stop them. Obviously, it's not. They drove right through it. Maybe it saved a little bit of the store, but I mean, they still were able to get in. So yeah, it's frustrating that I'm just going through this again. You know, it's like, what is it going to take for this to stop? You know.
The owner of Galaxy Glass plans to reopen after the repairs, but he's hoping that the city leaders can soon put an end to this smash and grab trend that is devastating businesses in the city.
Also right now, the Boulder County Sheriff's Office is looking for a man who they say stabbed another man on a hiking trail. Deputies say it happened on the Tenderfoot Trail in an open space just west of Boulder around 7:45 Wednesday morning. The victim said he was hiking when a gray-haired man in his 60s confronted him and stabbed him several times with a knife. Investigators say the suspect then ran up to the trail to the Realization Point parking lot. The victim was taken to a nearby hospital with serious injuries. Deputies say the men had interacted before on the trail and they both frequent the area.
Molson Coors, the parent of Golden's Marquee Beer Company, is the latest to ditch their diversity, equity, and inclusion, or DEI initiatives. The company sent out a letter to its 900-plus employees last week detailing, quote, the next steps of their culture journey. That includes a rollback in their DEI initiative, stepping away from third-party company rankings of corporate equality. In a statement, the company said starting next year, it will no longer set specific supplier diversity goals, and executive bonuses will solely be tied to business performance.
If you want your company to grow, then you should be committed to ensuring that diverse populations are able to be a part of your corporation. So moving away from that does not allow for those opportunities to happen as easily.
Molson Coors said that they started planning for this in March, and this will not impact employee benefits or diminish their commitment to a strong culture. The HRC Equality Index that Molson Coors is stepping away from gave the company a perfect score in enforcing workplace protections for sexual orientation and gender identity. Coors says that they will continue to welcome everyone at their different businesses.
Right now, Excel is getting ready for a high fire danger day today and tomorrow. The dry conditions mixed with winds will be the concern, especially in Mesa and Garfield counties. Excel says some customers may see power outages. They're putting different power settings in place, making lines more sensitive to turning off if things like tree branches touch them.
Meanwhile, across the western United States, wildfires continue to burn. The already bad conditions are getting worse in some areas. The Davis fire is causing evacuations in the Reno, Nevada suburbs. The Bridge fire is now the largest in California, with dozens of homes destroyed and more at risk. Some of the smoke is drifting here into Colorado, as we're going to see today.
Yeah, and a lot of the haze that we have been seeing around here lately is from those fires west of us. Meanwhile, the back-to-back wildfires that burned along the Front Range this year are raising some serious research questions, like how much pollution was really emitted and what is that doing to our health. New this morning, 9 News reporter Anusha Roy joins us live in Denver with that. Good morning, Anusha.
Hey, good morning, Corey and Jordan. Yeah, the researchers I talked to said the pollution from a wildfire is just as concerning to them as it is from driving cars and fossil fuels. We talked in the context of some of the most recent fires, like the Quarry Fire, Stone Canyon, and then, of course, all of the record-breaking ones as well. There's other research that also suggests globally, like in Canada, when they went through a historic wildfire season last year, that the forest emitted more carbon than most countries' fossil fuel emissions for the entire year of 2022. The concern is particulate matter here. That is the pollutant that can really make people sick. It can trigger things like asthma and other respiratory problems. And with climate change, experts are saying that it makes these fires more frequent, intense, and hard to put out. We know that there is a health impact, but the biggest question right now is how long does that health impact last, especially even after the smoke clears out?
You're breathing these urban pollution. Now, the fires, they may be with us 2 weeks or a month of the year, but they are very high. So at the end, what scientists think is that they are comparable. It's not that one is so much bigger that you don't have to worry about the other. We need to worry about urban pollution and we need to worry about the wildfires, and they're both hurting us.
So particulate matter that we're talking about tends to have a shorter shelf life than greenhouse gas emissions, but the composition of it essentially is different. So researchers are looking at how, particulate matter from a wildfire could be impacting our health differently than, let's say, one from fossil fuels or greenhouse gas emissions. Reporting live in Denver, Anusha Roy, 9 News.
I know it's a lot of questions that people think of when they see that wildfire smoke in the air, so this is interesting. Anusha, thank you. Francine is a tropical storm now. It made landfall in southern Louisiana as a Category 2 hurricane on Wednesday. This is a live look at the Superdome there. You can see a lot of clouds still in the skies. This morning, more than 250,000 customers are without power, and officials there are worried about flooding. The city of New Orleans is preparing for potential flooding with 4 to 8 inches of heavy rain. All flights out of the Louis Armstrong New Orleans International Airport have now been canceled. Schools and public offices in the region have also been closed. Francine is the first hurricane to make landfall in Louisiana since Ida in 2021.
Yeah, that storm has weakened significantly, but remember, it's always the rainfall. It's usually the rainfall that's one of the big impacts out of a tropical storm or hurricane. That's still in place, despite the fact that that storm has since weakened to a tropical storm. That said, for us here in Colorado, it's kind of the opposite for us for today, with a very dry air mass and a very warm one for us as well. And then you factor in some 30 to 40 mile an hour winds, and that's going to lead to high fire danger for today. So just one of those be smart days, right? Nothing with a spark outdoors. Have that go kit ready to go, and make sure you have those emergency alerts flipped on just in case there's a fire spread near you. I'll send things over to Erica for a look at traffic.
Great reminders, Chris. Thank you. Right now, we are following some big breaking traffic news this morning. This is our newest crash on southbound I-25. This is approaching Thornton Parkway just a little bit after 104th Avenue this morning, where there is a crash dead center in the middle of the interstate here. This vehicle hit this white vehicle here, and this one is facing the wrong direction on the interstate this morning. So fire crews are blocking all but really that far right shoulder. All lanes of the interstate here are actually blocked off this morning. And what's wild is in the last 5 minutes this just happened, there was another crash just up ahead at 84th where all lanes are also blocked, but that one far right lane because of another crash where 2 trucks crashed in the express lane, and we've got again a massive scene out that way. So just within a couple mile stretch of southbound I-25, we are dealing with 2 serious crashes that has us down to only 1 lane open and moving. We are dealing with over 20-minute backups now on southbound I-25 in this area. If you need to travel from the Westminster, North Glen area in toward the metro and you rely on southbound I-25, Washington Street or Huron Street are going to be good workaround options for you this morning because southbound I-25 is a mess.
Yeah, what a rough morning drive, especially if they have to take that area. All right, Erica, thank you for those detours and workarounds as well.